The Linus Tech Tips magnetic arches are the hip new product out there, but I know a lot of you are looking for a cheaper option. For a much smaller price per piece than the LTT arches, you'll get similar functionality but with a far lower build quality. So low, in fact, that I was even having some of the magnets slide out of the plastic frame of the holder. But getting back to the good things, they designed the holders as an X shape with magnets on the four corners. As long as your cables fit inside, which most average size cables will, then you can pop these right over the top. You'll need to use their adhesive magnetic holders to get them to hold, or you can use my hack I'll describe in the LTT section of this video. I'll keep hoping another manufacturer comes out with a better, cheap solution. If you want to see how I rank all the most popular cable products, click the link in the description to receive my guide. The Rockster rack is meant to be a solution for network closets and server rooms, but it's also a legitimate option to attach to your desk. The steel construction makes this very sturdy with no feeble fingers to crack off like its plastic imitators. They can be attached to your desk with screws, or as you can see, I also tested them with adhesive screws. Server racks can be a little complicated to use because of how they essentially hang upside down from your desk. At the same time, they're quite flexible because of how many openings they give you, paired with access to the underside when the cover is removed. The 19-inch width makes a pair of them perfect for your 48-inch desk, and a set of 3 for a 60-inch or wider desk. My biggest caution here is that the Amazon listing makes it appear like you're getting a set of 2 racks, but in fact you're only getting one panel. At almost $25 per rack, this gets to be an expensive option. Many cable products require you to drill holes in your desk, but for anyone who can't or doesn't want to, Airsa's adhesive screws are the best option I've seen. An alternative option would be to use products that are clamp mounted, but I typically stay away from these because I like to keep my desktop as clean as possible. Clamps are typically ugly and sometimes get in the way. So back to the adhesive screws, they can be a little complicated to line up and attach to your desk. But once installed, I found them to be very strong and able to hold a good sized tray. I recommend screwing them onto your cable product first and then attaching the adhesive pad to your desk. They cause a little more movement than the screws, but this might be a sacrifice worth making. The question will be, is it worth adding another $10 to whatever you spend on your cable management products? The Gator Frameworks rack is a cable management tool for when your cables are not being used. If you're anything like me, you probably have a drawer or a big box full of old VGA and power adapters that you can't even remember what they're for. First of all, you can probably throw most of those out, but for the ones you may need in the near future, here's a helpful solution. This big, essentially a comb, is very simple to install using a drill and ideally a level. You can hang all different size cables on the rack. The big benefit is how it keeps your cables untangled and easy to find. The final product is still a bit of an eyesore, so I suggest finding a closet or hiding them behind a door. The cord wrapper is essentially a storage solution for your appliances that have a cord you can't disconnect. In an earlier video, I reviewed another product of this style called the Animal Gifts Organizer. These holders have a rubbery-like material that bends as you wrap cables around them, allowing them to accommodate decent-sized cords. Now the cord wrapper takes up more space, so you'll need a good-sized flat surface to stick it onto. As you can see, I could fit a rather thick cable from the space heater around it with no issues. The final product with the wrapped up cable looks nice and tidy and makes your gadget much easier to put away. Personally, I prefer the simplicity of the Animal Gifts Organizer, but if you prefer to have your cable a bit more concealed, check out the cord wrapper. The purpose of the sleek socket is to allow you to get your desk, or really any kind of furniture, right up tight against a wall. Sometimes your monitor arm or other elements of your setup might prevent you from pushing your desk up close, but if you have everything clear except that pesky cord coming out, this is the way to go. The product has a ton of different options on Amazon, so you can choose the configuration that works best for your outlet and the needs of your setup. Unfortunately, they don't have an option to cover 4 outlets, but as you can see, this power strip perfectly fits the description of making your sockets sleek. Now these are a bit expensive, but based on my experience using them and seeing their high ratings after over 60,000 reviews, I'd recommend trying out the sleek socket. The Ascrono Cable Care Tray is a totally different way to use mesh for holding your cables. It features very high quality materials and also has straps inside to hold your power strip and cables. For $140, I expected a more simple assembly, but once it's put together, it functions nicely and it's easy to open it up and make changes. A long power strip can really help to spread out the cables so they aren't all bunched into one area of the tray. Even when trying my best to spread things out, it still ended up looking like a snake that just ate a meal. Next time around, I'll set this up using the longer Amazon power strip for a cleaner final look. Many cable products I've bought and tested are great at managing cables, but the final product still ends up looking sloppy. This is where a product like the mounted under-desk panel comes in. The panel hangs from the back of your desk to hide your cable mess. As I was putting it together, I wasn't overly impressed with the quality, but once it was together and installed, it works as described. This style product is much more important when your desk is sitting in an exposed spot rather than pushed up against a wall. The mesh pockets seem pretty useless to try and use for cable storage. Another potential issue is you really need this panel to be the exact width of your desk. I'll keep looking for other options or maybe find a way to DIY a product to fit this void. Everyone loves magnets, so anytime I find a magnetic cable product, I have to check it out. These strap organizers from the FG SAEOR store stretch out to wrap your cable bundles. They could work in tandem with other magnetic products to manage cables tight against your desk, or use them to bundle up cables to toss in a bag. The circular magnetic ends of the straps are strong enough to hold good-sized bundles together. Just make sure they aren't too overloaded so the magnets don't lose hold. They're fun and easy to use, especially when compared to Velcro straps. The Velcro straps do have several advantages though. They hold cables together stronger, more secure, and they're far cheaper. These magnetic ties are over $1 per tie. Their Velcro counterparts are about 14 cents per tie. If you want to go with the Velcro route, I'd try the Tri-Lancer brand. It's not often to see a recognizable brand, let alone a major YouTube channel like Linus Tech Tips, come out with a cable management product. And what's exciting about their new set is that they aren't just another set of trays, straps, or box like we've seen over and over. LTT came out with an innovative way to use magnets to cable manage your entire desk setup. Here's a little breakdown of all the things you get in their Room Solution bundle. So while it's expensive at $150, you're getting a lot of tools to manage your cables. The magnets do a great job of cleaning everything up efficiently with some very unique ways of connecting the magnets to your cables and power. Now what I don't like is that you're restricted to using their anchor plates. So as you can see, I use large metal bars attached to the bottom of my desk to hold the magnets. I bumped this up to an S tier product when using my hack. Check out my full review on the LTT set for more details on how I made this work. Remember to click the link in the description to receive my full cable management guide.